back to Other Duties as Assigned. Today we're going to talk about other duties teaching the teachers, and in this case teaching the future teachers. I'm joined by my good friend Mrs. Abigail Carter, who is a fantastic elementary school teacher in our district. Previously was our district's Teacher of the Year for elementaries, and we're going to talk about a program that we kind of work on together.
We do.
Our Education Professions program. So our Ed Profs program at the high school is for students who are interested in becoming a teacher. And I'm the point person at the high school, and I teach the class. We use a dual credit situation where students are also earning credit from Ivy Tech. So I make them call me Professor Schwanekamp in class. I think that may be a little much, but and then our students spend all their time out in the buildings with outstanding teachers like Mrs. Carter and really getting their hands dirty and getting to see that. Can you talk to us a little bit about what it looks like to have a high school student in your classroom here at Guilford?
Yes. First of all, thank you, Brent. It's been fun to work with you the past 4 years, I think, at least. And I really enjoy having the cadet teachers with me that are in your class. They come to me about 12:30, 12:45 in the afternoon, and they stay the rest of the day. And so they do a variety of things throughout their time here, and I think it really just gives them a good idea about, you know, what teaching looks like and how it is going to go for them if they're interested in the profession. So,
can you talk about, you know, maybe some fun moments you've had with cadet teachers or fun things that have happened with them in your classroom?
Yes. So in my classroom, whoever comes in to the room, I treat as another teacher. My students do also, so I have high expectations for them as well. But at the same time, we laugh, we have fun, and we enjoy our time together. So I think what's been really neat for me is having my kids see the cadet teachers out in the community, at their jobs. So the one I currently have now works at Stone Creek, and so she has seen several of our students come into the restaurant. And they hug her and love on her, which I absolutely love. So I think it's just having those eyes and knowing that, hey, you know, yes, I'm in the classroom, but I'm going to see these people as they continue on their educational journey. So
and it's really fun to see kids who are kind of on the fence about education sometimes when they join the program.
Yes.
That experience and those connections with kids. They see, you know, they hear all the bad things from people who are not in education about why they shouldn't be a teacher. Mm-hmm. And if we can get them to get in the classroom and start working with kids and getting their bucket filled,
yes,
like we do every day in our jobs, and why we keep coming back after a few years. You and I have both been in education a couple of years. But, you know, getting that opportunity to see what it's like to be around kids is so powerful.
Yes, absolutely. I do love that your program is long. It's lengthy, and they are expected to do a lot. But when I was in high school, I think I might have gone for a class period, so 45 minutes or so, and it just wasn't enough time. So they're here, I mean, pretty much a half day. And I think that that's great for them to get a real hands-on experience. So,
well, I think you're right. My experience was the exact same. I was one period a day in a math classroom at the middle school, and it showed, you know, I kind of already knew that's what I wanted. It definitely reaffirmed that. But the depth that we're asking kids to have in this, whether it's an elementary school placement or a middle school placement, we even have some that place at the high school if they're interested in world language or something that we can't replicate other places. It really does set kids up for great success. And I think we also find that our cadet teachers who move forward in education are really well prepared when they go to college because they've had some hands-on experience. You know,
yes,
so many kids go off to college and say, I want to be an education major or I want to be a teacher, and they haven't had that hands-on experience and don't know.
Absolutely. I'm really lucky here because I had one of your cadet teachers my first year in Plainfield, and I said, please come back to me when you student teach. And so she's here right now, student teaching. And so we've already started that relationship because we worked together when she was in high school. So I love that.
Well, and it's, you know, we live in a world where it's becoming harder and harder to find great teachers. And, you know, there's no better way to solve that problem than to build your own pipeline. Mm-hmm. And that's in essence what we've done here in Plainfield is we've started them as young in high school and found ones who have interest in education. We've cultivated that with building great relationships with outstanding mentor teachers who they can rely on even after they graduate from high school, and they can come back to, and they can student teach for, and continue to learn. And then hopefully, we've been lucky. I think in the last couple of years, we've hired 2 or 3 for sure graduates of our Ed Professions program. I think we have 2 or 3 more coming on this year too, so it's pretty exciting. When you think about our program, how has it benefited you as a teacher in your classroom, and how does having that extra set of hands really, how do you see the benefits for yourself besides building that pipeline?
Sure. I think there are so many benefits. I think if I would have advice for another mentor teacher or someone who's thinking about it, it is work. So I do plan for her and things that she does each day I have scheduled out. So when she comes in, I know one of the guidelines or things are they can copy and prep things, which is fine, but she comes during my prep time, so I have her do things like that when the children are in the room. And then other than that, I plan small groups for her to pull. If children need makeup tests and things, she'll do that. She'll do a craft, grade papers. But when the kids are in the room, I like my cadet teachers to be with them. And so I think it's worked well both ways. And I think just that it takes a little extra planning on your part, but once you get it down, they're good to go. They come in, they know exactly what they need. So.
Well, I think it's not indifferent to having a volunteer in the classroom, but it's a consistent volunteer.
Yes.
They're there every day. They're invested in your kids. They know your kids. And it's not just somebody's mom or grandma or grandpa that's coming in to help one time a month.
Yeah.
It's somebody who's there every day consistently that you can count on and plan for. And I think that's really helpful.
Yes.
This program, I think, has been really good for us. I would encourage other schools, other administrators who think they don't have any more room on their plate, which I feel that way sometimes, but this is a great investment. And as I move forward, as I transition in my position, it's something I'm going to keep doing, because you were worried that I was going to leave, but it's definitely something that, I don't have to do a lot of the daily work, because I have such a great team of mentors, of cooperating teachers that really do the day in, day out with my students, and I just support them and give them, work on the assignment piece. Because the other thing is, we want to send a kid off to college, and when they're asked to write a philosophy of education, or they have to do a student shadow, they've got experience doing it. Then they're not afraid of what that looks like.
Yes. Yeah, I do love the assignments that you have them. They work on a bulletin board. They do a student observation. One thing that you and I worked on last year that I'd like to continue is our classes got on a bus and went to the high school in May. And it was because of my students saying, what does Miss Kimber do during the school day? And we want to see the classes that she has. So I emailed Brent and we set it up. So all of first grade was able to follow the high school student schedule, which they absolutely loved, ate lunch with the high school kids, and then they did an activity in the gym. So I'd love to keep that connection.
Well, we are very lucky to have such a great community, and we support education at all levels, from the littlest learners to the biggest learners, and we kind of find that when you put them together, that's when a lot of the magic happens, and we're very lucky to get to do that. I appreciate you coming on and talking about this.
Thank you.
This is one of the duties that I love the most. I have so many things that you have to do in the office that aren't a lot of fun, but getting to support kids who want to be teachers in the long run is going to make both of our jobs easier when we bring on other great teachers to our district. So thanks again for coming on.
You're welcome.
Maybe we'll do this again sometime.
Me. Okay.
No problem.
Thanks, Brent.
Thank you. Bye-bye.